Hello and welcome back to the Manifest Edit podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 questions you can ask to get into flow to manifest your desires now. And I think a huge part of manifesting is being able to get yourself into this place of being there now, feeling it now, experiencing it now, believing now. And to be honest, I did have a period for a couple of weeks over the past couple of weeks where I have been kind of on sick leave, not feeling very well and not able to show up for all the commitments that I would have ideally liked to show up for on the level that I would have liked to show up for them for. And so I did kind of feel like I was definitely not in a flow state. I wasn't feeling super aligned. I wasn't feel like things were coming easily for me, and I was having some other challenges going on during that period of time. And these were the questions that really helped me come home to myself and to get back into that flow state and to begin feeling aligned again. And these are questions that you can use whether you're feeling super out of whack right now, things are just not clicking at all, not making sense for you at all, or you would just like to steer yourself in a better direction. And one of the things that I always say to my clients is like, you don't need to wait for your life to be falling apart to make changes to make it better. And it's okay to say that, yeah, things are okay or things are good right now, but I know that they can be great. And for me, it's all about manifesting my extraordinary life and helping my clients, students, and podcast listeners do the same. To me, being in a state of flow is like hitting green light after green light when you're in the car, right? Everything just goes so smoothly, and there's a definite notice of a shift in energy when you are really contented in who you are and where you're going. And that's not necessarily saying that you need to have the step-by-step of where you're going, but you're contented in the not knowing, you're contented in the figuring it out. And for me, I know and I just trust and I sense I'm in a flow state when my energy is shifted, when my mood is lifted, when I feel really grounded, I feel really supported, and I just have this deep sense of clarity. So I'm going to be sharing with you 5 questions that you can use to get yourself into your own state of flow, and also think about, as we're going through this, what flow looks and feels like for you and when you were last in that flow state. Even thinking about some of the things that take you out of that and some of the things that put you into that state. Because the aim with this episode is to make your flow state more of a default setting. But before we get into the episode, make sure if you haven't already to hit the subscribe button if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, and to follow if you are watching over on YouTube. As we go through these questions, I really want you to bring one goal or one specific area of your life into mind so that we can go through the questions with one specific area that we're honing into. You can then, after you've completed it once, go back and listen to the episode and go into a different area of your life or a different goal and just go through the same process again. So now would be a great time, if you haven't already, to grab a journal and paper so that you can write down the questions and also write down your responses. I'm going to share with you the questions, and then I'm going to share a little bit about how this question is important, how it's going to help you prepare for your manifestation, and then you can hit pause and go away and answer that question and move on to the next one. I do really think it's useful to go through the questions with me at the same time, because often what can happen, and I know because I've been that person, is I will listen to a podcast or an audiobook or read a book and there'll be a practice or an exercise and I'm like, yeah, great, I'll come back to that later. Later never comes. So question number 1 is, where am I acting in a way that is out of integrity with my goal of X? Where in my life am I acting in a way that is out of integrity with my goal of X? And notice where you are acting or even speaking in a way that does not really make sense for a goal that you want to manifest. And I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by this. So for me, one of my major goals is around health, well-being, fitness. It's very important to me. And also, as someone who has a chronic illness, it is important for me to really be on top of feeling good and making the conscious effort that I can make to feel better and to manage my energy and to really be nourishing my body and my soul. Knowing that this is a goal of mine, it really was not making sense that there were a couple of weeks there where I was really not eating well, and because I was not eating well, I did not have the level of energy I would like to have. So I'm just having like a fat iced coffee every single day, which really is not a solution. I was ordering takeout food, but it wasn't even, ooh, this is a little treat, or this is a fun thing that I'm going to do, ordering takeout food. I was ordering takeout food and then I'm getting it and I'm feeling like, oh, the food's not even good, or it's not healthy, it's not nutritious, it's not filling me up. It's just, I need to eat something otherwise I'm going to pass out. I really need to eat something right now, so I'm going to order takeaway, but I wasn't even actually enjoying it. So it wasn't like I was spending money on this thing and, oh, well, you know, it would be better if I was cooking my own food, but at least I'm still enjoying the takeaway food as well. But I was just ordering junk food, which I don't typically eat anyway. And yeah, to be honest, I was feeling pretty lethargic because of it in a time period where I was already feeling kind of sick. So this was not helping me improve my situation or feel better. And yeah, that was completely out of alignment with my goal of looking after my body and treating myself well. So where in your life might you have been saying like, yes, this is my goal. I want to manifest a partner, or I want to manifest a new job, or I want to manifest a certain number of clients in my business, and the actions that you are taking or the words that you're speaking of your life are not aligning with that goal. The second thing that I want you to bear in mind is, like, with all of these questions, you kind of have a follow-up question to the initial question, which is what now? So I realized I was acting in a way that was out of integrity or out of alignment. And then my follow-up question is, okay, well, I know that I'm out of alignment in this area. What am I going to do about it? So one of the things that I did was I started looking up healthy recipes. I was saving recipes on TikTok that I would come across. Started following a ton of nutritionists for healthy meals that weren't just like boring healthy meals, really exciting healthy meals, food I would actually enjoy to eat. I also downloaded the New York Times app and started saving recipes to a recipe folder on there. I started putting more kind of planning behind my weekly shopping and just like lightly meal planning. I don't like to have like a super rigid meal plan of this is what I'm going to eat each day, but I do like to have, okay, these are some key meals I'm going to make. These are some salad ingredients I'm going to have. Salad is like one of my favorite meals. It's like literally this would be my death row meal is salad. I know that might sound boring, but it's so delicious, diverse, and it's something I always enjoy eating. So I'm like, well, if I know I always enjoy eating a salad, then I'm always going to have stuff that I can make a salad with. If I know that I like to make big pots of something and then freeze stuff just so I have that there, then I'm going to make it as easy as possible to get that done. So you can see how I went from, okay, this is an area of my life where I'm kind of falling short. What am I going to do about it? Don't make the mistake of answering the question and then throwing yourself a pity party of, woe is me, I said I was going to be living in a certain way and now I'm not living in the certain way, boo-hoo, and cry about it. Notice it and then make a shift. Notice and make a shift. That's what life is noticing where things are good and shifting to allow more of it, or noticing where things are not as we want them to be and then shifting to decrease the amount that they're in our lives, right? Don't get so wrapped up in where things are not how you want them to be. Only use that as information, as a tool, as a means to change what you don't like. Don't use it as an excuse to stay stuck there. Question number 2, what am I willing to let go of in order to manifest my goal of X? This is a question that's really going to help you create space in your life. And the first time that I consciously remember thinking of this idea of creating space for something that I wanted to manifest was when I actually began solo traveling in 2016, and I met this person who I traveled with for a week or two in Vietnam. And one of the things that she told me was that she was calling in a partner, she was calling in a soulmate, and one of the things that she was doing to call in her soulmate was to make space for them. So that was, instead of, oh, I'm going to be sleeping across both sides of my bed, or I'm going to have stuff on the other side of my bed that I don't really use because no one's really sleeping there, she would always keep that space clear and free and tidy and open for the one day that someone else would be in that bed space as well. This was something that really resonated with me because I am someone who really used to just have the right side of my bed as a second desk. Like there would always be notebooks, books, random things in there, my phone, whatever, on the side of my bed that I was not using to sleep. And that was not really creating space for anybody else to fill that, because the space was already filled by my own clutter. And that has such energetic implications, as well as just like physically, there would be no place for them to go. Like you're also signifying in your mind, well, I don't have space for this. So whether it is a romantic partner or it's another goal that you're looking at, how can you physically create space that would allow your goal to coexist with the life that you're living right now? And creating space may also look like freeing up time, or noticing where you feel like you don't have enough you don't have enough of something in order to make your goal come to life. So one of the ways that I created space in my life recently was by closing down my membership program. This was a membership program that I ran in my business for a year, and it was around a topic that I'm so passionate about identity work and coming home to yourself and shifting not just limiting beliefs but limiting identities. And it's something that I still, despite not running the program any longer, is something that I'm still incredibly passionate about and I still do work around, just in a different context. However, I knew that because there were new creative projects and programs that I wanted to launch in my business, in order to do that, I needed to create space for that. And it felt like the best way for me to create that space would be by closing the membership program, so that I could create more containers that were maybe on a shorter time period, as the membership program was ongoing and rolled over from month to month. I wanted to create programs that were on a more limited container. And I also wanted to create more space to work with my clients one-on-one as well. So it was a difficult decision to make. It was something that I was thinking about for a while, kind of umming and ahhing with. And then a couple of things really clicked into place for me, where I was like, yes, this is absolutely the right decision. And it's so funny, because when you are in alignment and you're making aligned decisions, the shifts, they just roll with the punches. And so I made the decision, and then I had a really incredible opportunity come my way that was so in alignment with the direction that I'm moving in with my business. And it just really signified to me and affirmed to me like this was the right choice to make. So although freeing up space may look like you're losing something, or you're leaving something behind, or what am I going to do, or even, closing a certain aspect of my business means losing an element of income, but you have to think of the bigger picture, the wider picture, and the bigger vision. Moving into the third question, which is all around the area of gratitude. And the question is, who or what caused me to feel abundant today? And what I love about this question is it really focuses on the here and now. And it's a question that you could actually ask yourself every single day. Something you might not know about me, or maybe you do know this if you regularly listen to the Manifest Edit podcast, is that I personally don't believe in writing gratitude lists. It's not part of my manifestation practice for a few reasons, but I do still practice gratitude in other ways, and I express gratitude in other ways, because I really believe that it's wholly important, not just for grounding you in the present moment, but it reminds you how abundant you already are and how powerful you already are. It also makes people feel good, right? When you give someone a compliment, or you thank someone for your work, or you tell someone how much you appreciate them, people love that shit. I love that shit. And it really shifts you from this state, or this place of not having enough, to overflowing with abundance. When you can recognize that things are already working out, of course, things are going to continue to go that way. Now, the final two questions. The fourth question is around getting guidance, and it's, who can I ask for support with X goal? Remember, you are not an island, and your goals are not manifested in isolation. There are so many people and so many other facets that come into play that actually help you bring your dreams to life. And so rather than just waiting for life to happen, or people to offer their support, people to offer their guidance, who could you ask that would help you to move further along? And so for me, when I asked myself this question and I was feeling out of alignment and I was feeling out of this flow state, I'm like, well, where can I get more support? The first person that I wanted to ask was myself. And I knew that getting guidance from myself looked like going deeper into my meditation practice. It looked like doing more breath work. I find breath work really helps me get out of my mind and into my body, and just really causes me to feel this deep sense of connection with myself. And that I knew that was step number one, was really helping me to connect with me on a deeper level first, and then from there I was able to also ask for support from other people. Who you decide to ask may look different depending on what goal you're working on. So, if you're like me and earlier for example, I mentioned earlier that one of my goals is around nutrition and eating better and feeling better. So I actually have asked for support I have organized a consultation with a nutritionist, and I've also organized a personal training session. I don't really go to the gym so much anymore, but I just want to talk to the personal trainer about some of the goals I have for my body and my health. And I want to talk to a nutritionist about how I can get more protein into my diet, how I can eat better around my eating habits and around my work lifestyle. And I know that by speaking to these people, they're going to give me advice that I wouldn't necessarily know. Although I know some things about health and nutrition, like that's not my zone of genius. So why would I try to be the best at something that is not in my zone of genius when I can ask people who are actually experts at what they do to support me and to help me then become the best I can be for myself. So whatever area is of your life, whether it is getting a mentor in the workplace or your career, it's working with a coach for your mindset and manifestation journey, or getting connected to yourself on a deeper level spiritually, whether that is asking for help from your partner with feeling more loved or cared for. There are so many people that you can ask for support. And so that was one of my goals. I asked for support. And so that was one of my goals, that I got health and fitness support by asking those people. And then another area of support was when I was not feeling well, I did ask for support from my friends, from people in my life, to just kind of help me feel back on track again. So that was a phone call with one of my best friends who's back in the UK at the moment. Another one of my friends who's based here in Australia came and stayed over, and we just had, I don't know who said that people don't have sleepovers in their 30s, because oh my goodness, I was like, why don't I do this more? This is so fun. My friend came over and we just like stayed in bed chatting all night, ordered takeaway, and it was exactly what I needed. And I had been feeling a bit down before that. I think just spending so much time in bed and not really working out as much as I would because I wasn't feeling well. So having my friend come round, it really helped me to fill up my cup again, and I really felt energized. Also because my friend is such a gym bunny, so the next day I was like, okay, I'm inspired. Jess looks this good, I need to be looking and feeling this good. So it was something that I'm really grateful and appreciative for. And look, it used to be hard for me to reach out to people and ask for support with things and ask what I needed for. And if this is you, I definitely recommend checking out my episode that I did recently. I think it might be episode 193 on the harsh truth on why people don't support your dreams, because there is some gold in there if you are someone who struggles with being hyper independent or not knowing how to ask people for support. Definitely go check that out after this episode. The final question is around planning the party, celebrating your desires. And the question is, when I manifest X goal, how will I celebrate? How will you celebrate your goals coming to pass? And so I'm someone who's very rewards orientated. And if you've ever worked with me in one of my programs or one-on-one, you'll know that this is something that I love to do with my clients and students as well, is celebrating and making the realization of your goals a really big occasion. You don't have to wait for someone else to celebrate you. You get to celebrate yourself as well. And one of my previous clients, we did little celebrations where she would have mini bottles of Prosecco, and then when she hit certain goals, she would be popping the Prosecco. I'd be chatting to her over WhatsApp like, woo, yes, I'm drinking a virtual Prosecco. And at that point, I was actually not drinking, so I would have a non-alcoholic Prosecco. I'm like, I am with you in spirit. I'm cheering you on. And it was just a fun little thing to witness someone standing fully in their power, someone working hard for something and then getting to enjoy the fruits of their labor. And it's something that I do for myself as well. So when I was thinking about, okay, well, this goal with my health and fitness, nutrition, etc., how would I celebrate when I am hitting? And so, it's a very big, broad overall goal. Like, I just want to feel better, or I want to work out consistently. I have micro goals inside of that about the specifics. So one of the specifics was I want to be going to at least one Pilates class a week. I used to go to 2 to 3, but I am also recovering from a knee injury. So I spend quite a lot of time at the moment doing my knee-hab, which is my knee rehab exercises at the gym. But I want to ease myself back into Pilates classes. My physio said that it's okay to begin going to the foundations ones, so level 1 classes. So I'm like, okay, getting myself back into the habit of Pilates. One of the things I will do to celebrate getting back into the habit is when I go to a Pilates class, at least one Pilates class every single week for the month, at the end of the month, I'm going to celebrate by going and getting a massage. There is this incredible massage place that's just like 5 minutes walk from my house. I adore it there, and it makes me feel so excited knowing that I'm going to celebrate by appreciating and celebrating on my body, loving on my body for doing something that makes me feel good. How can you celebrate your goals? And do you incorporate this practice of celebrating into the way that you're showing up in your life? Or do you just manifest something, oh yay, great, it's come through, and it's on to the next thing, and you don't really take time to bask in your work and everything that's gone on to get you to that point? And also, on top of having that big celebration for when it actually comes through, remember to celebrate yourself in small ways along the way as well. That might just be as simple as, you did a good job today. I'm so proud of you today. These little things really make all the difference, and they encourage you to continue to show up for yourself even when it looks like nothing was working, even when you're having a challenging time, even when, no matter what external circumstances, you are the person that is showing up for you. So make sure in showing up for yourself that you are really showing up for yourself. And I truly believe that really showing up for yourself includes really celebrating yourself. So to conclude, stop making excuses and start asking questions. I've given you 5 incredibly powerful questions that you can begin to ask yourself and implement in your life. Remember, don't just ask the question, but ask yourself, what now? What am I going to do with this information? And I highly recommend that you get a manifestation journal, and you can keep your notes from these podcast episodes in there. You can answer questions in there. You can script about your dreams. And I'm going to have loads more episodes and resources coming that you can use to go even deeper into your manifestation journal. And remember that you don't need to wait for the circumstances to be perfect. You can consciously create an environment where manifesting your dreams is a done deal. So my love, that is it from me in this week's episode. Remember to hit subscribe if you're not already, so you can get updated with future episodes. And if you're listening on Apple, I would so love if you would take a couple of minutes to leave a review about what you loved most about this episode and what you're going to be implementing into your life. Until then, I will see you in the next one.